Mike.
What is it, Glenn? You seem sad.
2016, man. There's just so many movies being remade or just sequels that are just kind of ridiculous.
Forget 2016. It's like the past 10 years.
The past 10 years.
The past 10 years have been nothing, it seems, but remakes and sequels.
But it's getting ridiculous.
It's getting redonkulous.
But I feel like there's a few that they're just missing that they could be remaking, but they're not doing.
I follow you.
So, like...
Now, what do you think constitutes a good movie to be remade?
If there's better tech now that they couldn't do back then, it'd be great to just do everything that they had back then and just do it now. So that's one thing.
I'm going to agree with that, and then I'm going to add, if the movie had a lot of potential and then just didn't meet the expectations.
Just came out at the wrong time.
Came out at the wrong time, or just the wrong people made it, but the plot was great.
Yep. So do you have any off the top of your skull?
Off the top of my skull.
I could tell you some off the top of your skull.
Off the top of my skull that I wrote down. Ew, deer. Ugh, that deer.
It's a gross looking deer.
Ooh. There are now this isn't because the movies failed to meet expectations. They're great movies.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, silent films don't have sound.
What?
What?
That is a lie.
Is that what silent means? But anyway, I feel that there are a lot of silent movies that could be, at least to gain more fan bases, be remade. Metropolis.
Yeah.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is one of my favorites, is my number in my top 10. And
Battleship Potemkin.
Battleship Potemkin. These movies, they all had some part of some part in evolving how movies are made, and so they've done a lot for cinema and movies in general. But of course, they're silent movies,
yep.
And a lot of people don't want to watch them because they're silent movies. If you're one of those people, you're a fool.
Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged for you.
Just because I don't watch silent films doesn't mean I don't respect them.
Yes.
All the movies he said, I extremely respect them.
I haven't seen them.
I just, it doesn't mean I still can't respect them, Mike. Doesn't mean I don't respect them, and eventually I will get there. But it would be also really cool to just see a rendition of that movie with sound.
Yeah. If you watch The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, you can tell that it was ahead of its time.
I got a couple on my list that,
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Maybe?
Can we talk about how great 202 is right now?
202 is pretty fantastic.
They finished... Okay, for those of you who don't live in the Philadelphia area, 202 they've been doing construction on for 20 years, and they just finished construction.
In like a week.
And my God, is it glorious. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry.
So much room for activity.
I was just thinking that, and I needed to say it, so...
Just because these movies are on my list doesn't mean at all that they're bad movies. I would just like to see a rendition of that movie today.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one I have on my list is The Lost Boys.
Okay.
Mainly because vampire movies really just suck anymore these days.
Yeah.
And, well, at least for me, Lost Boys was a pretty good vampire movie. I liked it. Instead of
Sparkly vampires!
Oh. Also, I just love Kiefer Sutherland. He's awesome.
I'm gonna combine 3 more again.
Oh.
The episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars. Yeah.
There was 2 good things about that trilogy. 1, Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
See ya. And Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to Darth Maul?
They chopped him in half
in the first episode. Why?
They could have done so much better.
It had so much potential.
So much,
and it just right down the crapper.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of people just don't want those to exist.
That's what I'm saying.
All.
Remake them. Delete every single thing about the originals.
Don't let George Lucas touch it. Another one I got on my list is Never-Ending Story. So, it's kind of old by now. What is it, 80s movie?
I haven't seen it, but yeah, I think it's 80s. My parents are much older than yours, that's why I didn't see it. They weren't kids when Never-Ending Story came out, so they didn't feel like they needed to show it to me.
So, and like, this is one of the ones that can involve tech a lot more, because Neverending Story had a lot of, like, practical effects.
Yeah.
Like the giant dog that the kid was flying
Giant
on.
flying dog.
The giant flying dog. It could be CGI, and it could look pretty good now. And, you know, just that's another
I think
one.
they could just do better with practical effects.
Oh, yeah. They could
Like
do
a
that.
combination of practical and CG. The only one I remember that on my list still is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yep.
I know there's a lot of people, but Mike! It's a classic, why do you want to remake it? The little girl who plays Scout is quite possibly the most annoying human being on the face of the planet.
Wait
And
a minute. Are you telling me more annoying than Dakota Fanning in War of the Worlds?
yeah, but I can't get through the movie because of Scout. The only person, too, is Scout. I'm fine with everything else. Scout.
Scout, why do you have to be so stupid?
So stupid.
Silly.
But anyways.
goose. There's been a lot of like horror remakes lately with, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, Jason movies, Michael Myers. But what about Hellraiser? That's one that I haven't seen refinessed in a little bit.
With knowing how terrible the remakes of those horror movies have been, do you really want them to ruin Hellraiser?
Yes.
Okay.
And by ruin, I mean save. Because all of these movies are terrible for what reason? Plot? Something like that along the lines? Conjuring was a really good movie. So if
We're not talking about Conjuring.
if we get somebody to get the right hands on this movie, then it could possibly be a good movie and not some total crap like the last couple remakes of all the other horror movies.
So what you're saying is you want James Wan to direct a remake of Hellraiser?
I want somebody good that's not just James Wan.
Well, if you've watched horror movies, the only good modern horror movies either come from overseas or James Wan.
Let's get some of
So
those
your choices
fellas.
are limited.
I just want a good horror movie these days. That's a remake at least. And I think Hellraiser could be one. Or any other. I don't care. Seriously, just give me a good horror movie remake.
Or just a good horror movie in general.
Period. Come on. You not have any more? That's it?
I don't know.
Y'all know?
We gotta look at it. Is that all I put?
That's literally all you put.
Oh, well, there you go.
Huh.
Wow! Those remakes could be terrible.
Or they could be good.
We don't know. They haven't been remade.
But, you know, one day, maybe.
One day more!
Please. Is that a kitty cat?
Is it?
No. That's a...
It's a box. Or
It's
a bucket.
What?
Anyway, over there is our last car vlog, which is our dream Pokemon cast.
Oh man.
What? Yeah,
We had some pretty good casts.
pretty good casts.
Mike thinks mine sucks, but
I don't
also
think yours sucks. Yours were just different than mine.
Yeah, but I also think his is better. I do.
I'm always better than you, so.
You know, you don't have to give me the cold hard truth.
Anyway,
Because over here is Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
And that's the hard truth.
Yes.
Maybe it was good, maybe it was terrible.
We don't know. We're on our way to go see it.
Click on the video, you'll find out.
Ah!
On our faces, Kubo.
And the 2 strings.
Oh boy. Below our faces, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You know, social media, socialize. Come on, guys, put 1 and 1 together. It probably makes 2.
I need another friend other than him.
Because there's two more things below.
Mhm.
There's a comment section.
Or
Tell
you
us-
can talk about what movies you think should be remade.
Yeah, that aren't horror movies. Or are. Who knows? Like and subscribe is the thing. You should do that as well. Dislikes a thing, but we don't acknowledge it.
It
considering
makes us sad.
It's depressing, really.
Yeah.
Sad.